really, it's all the same now, to be honest, now that I think about it, because think about it. If Newports don't have menthol, then that means it wouldn't be a difference in smoking the red pack.
I don't know.
Hey, y'all. I'm trying to get it together. Hold on, I gotta add stuff. Hold on, I'm coming, y'all. I'm ears are coming. I don't know why I can't never be ready when I go live. But at least I be making it. I be being able to go live. I do be making it. I be somewhat on time. I know I'm a little late today, but hey, y'all, welcome to Sipping in the Sip with Sabrina. I'm Sabrina. And y'all know, if you've been watching me, you know I'm slow. If you have been watching me, you know I'm slow. You know I don't ever do that. You be quiet.
Move too damn slow.
You be quiet now. Nobody talking to you.
Move too damn slow. Nigga, you been sucking on your mama titty since you were 13. Fuck out of here.
Who are you talking to? Oh, I look like a little old lady. Look at me. Look, I look like a little old lady. Hey, y'all, hey. Oh, yeah. Oh, shoot. So how everybody doing out here in these social media streets? You dig? How's everybody holding up? How's life treating you guys? All that good stuff.
That boy gonna let you kill his mama, you dumb fuck.
Kia, we do not want to hear about you watching no movie, talking to the TV screen. We don't need a stereotype.
Big Owens! What's up, Big Owens? She rude as hell. What's up, Big Owens?
She do not like that.
I always tell her to go live. I say, go live with the big ones.
She do not like y'all. She don't want to do nothing but argue with y'all and fight. She ain't no good. She sure ain't. All right. Dang, y'all. Hold on. Here I come. Okay, yo, I'm down. I'm still doing what I gotta do, but I'm down. Look here. Y'all, today we're gonna have to talk about this case over there in Chicago, Illinois, with R. Kelly. And as I always let y'all know before we get to talking about people, we only talking about this case. I do not care what R. Kelly did. I'm not saying he right or he wrong, but what I ain't finna do is minimize his whole life to this one darn case. He just had a case last year, so I'm not doing it. I don't need to bash him and make stuff worse than what it is. Y'all know what he did. Y'all know what's up. But we ain't fit. This ain't no bash R. Kelly type of situation. But but I do wanna be able to shed a little light on the other people that are in this case, finally. So I want to be able to, I'm hoping that this case will be able to shed a little more light, because like I said in any of my other videos about R. Kelly I'm not one of them people that feel like let R. Kelly out and put all the other people in, because hell no, he deserved to be there. He good where he at. But I believe other people need to be with him. That's a fact. That's what that's my whole point. So I'm ecstatic to be able to tell y'all about this case, because Now it's an opportunity for other people to go to jail, which is what it really should be. It really should be more than just the 2 co-defendants, if you ask me. But you know, at least we starting with something, which means for the next court case and the next court case, because this ain't the last one, just so y'all know, it's just not the last court case. And I also believe that they did this away. This case came after he was convicted, I think, because I think they want to give him like a healthy sentence. And because it's and because of the way that they set his previous sentencing, I feel like it's a way to be able to, you know, steady up in the ante on as far as him keep going before judges. Like, you know, if you're a convicted felon of something and then you also get tried again and it has something to do with what you already been convicted of, they can maximize your time, you know. So at the end of the day, R. Kelly at this point could be possibly facing life due to the fact that he's already been charged and sentenced in another case. But it's not for the same reasons, or they had nothing to do with the same motives that they had in New York. These is whole new different this a whole new different case. It's pretty much, I feel like everybody that's trying him in these federal cases, I feel like they all picked a certain amount of subjects from the sexual from the sexual line. So it's like, if you charge him with this and this, I charge him with this, and I'm gonna charge him with it. Like, I think they all did, they knew what to do, because it can't be a double jeopardy. You can't keep on sending him to court for the same stuff. So I feel like they kind of just went out there, because that one case really could have summed all this up, to be honest. But I feel like they wanted this. They are now, since all this stuff been coming out about all these people, including the white people who have been in this and that fakely that killed themselves or what have you. You know, when they went to prison and all that good stuff. But because they are not going to make a mockery or to prove something on the white people. I just feel like the black people, they're getting it 10 times harder. And I also feel like they're looking at white people as well, but just not for the same things. Like, if they charge a white person who do the same exact thing that R. Kelly or Bill Clinton them done, I mean, dang, Bill Cosby them done, I can guarantee you they can go before a federal judge and walk out with 5 years. Literally. With the same exact everything. Like, just remove a black person and put in a white person in that spot doing the exact same things, go on trial. They would literally get 5 years. Like, I really believe it. And that ain't the best thing, but I just believe it from the way I've been seeing things. And because of that, when you look at the number of people who have gotten out of jail for doing things that they did not do, it's mostly black people that is in jail for stuff that they didn't do, with life sentences for stuff that they the only ones that really been getting out, being able to sue. Like, no, I've been locked up for 30 years for nothing. Like, literally. Like, it's not, I haven't seen a lot of white people get out talking about I was locked up for 25 years. Man, I got raped, drugged, all this stuff while I was in jail. I ain't heard that from a white person. I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm just saying it's going to be a lesser sentence if you're white in anything that you do, not just with this stuff that R. Kelly them going through, but I'm saying anything. Like, if you're a black person and you go kill 25 people, oh, you going under the jail. But if you're a white person and kill 25 people, just like these mass murders that's been going on here now, oh, they getting 15 years. Simple. They get to see the light of day. Just black people don't. So that's why I'm not gonna bash R. Kelly or make things worse than what they already are. We know what he did. We've been knowing it for years. It's been in all his songs, so we can all sit here and pretend like, oh, but he got acquitted on the other. Man, y'all know what it is. Stop playing. That's the only thing that's the only one thing that for some black people, money literally can help them along the way. So let's be clear about that. Money can, but at some point that money, it fades out and they know what they're doing. Just like how they taking his money right now, they freezing his books and commissary because they know R. Kelly not broke. Okay. They don't do that for anybody. I'm just saying. You ain't never heard nobody in the hood tell you, oh man, they took my money off my commissary because they said I owed it. Never happened. It's not a good thing. This is because they want to make sure they break the heck out of R. Kelly. They're breaking him. They're trying to. That's what they want to do. They don't want him to have $0, 0 cents. Okay? So I just wanted to tell y'all that first and foremost, and at the same time, I'm getting everything together still. Because y'all know I'm slow. I'm a little slow. But we're going to get into this because I'm actually excited for it. Because like I said, it's somebody else other than just R. Kelly on trial. Like I was waiting on that moment. Like, yes. I really going to be excited when I can see some of these parents as his co-defendant. I'm hoping that in another trial, we can get a couple parents that's going to be his co-defendant. I really do. I'm hoping for that little bit. Because I just feel like right is right and wrong is wrong. Really, no matter what color you are, I just feel like you should get punished for something. That's just my take on it. I don't know why people like to do this. No, you lie. I want to call your phone. They ain't gonna do right. Okay, but let's get into it. So in September of last year is when. No, you lie. Oh snap. Okay, but okay, yeah, and in September of last year, Kels was found guilty of 8 counts of sex trafficking, racketeering. What else did he go for? Some with the man, some, but it was a lot of counts. Okay, and he did all of that off up in New York back in 2021, up in September, not even a year ago, so 11 months ago, and then 7 weeks ago, Kels was sentenced to 30 years for that case in New York. So back to what I was saying to you guys earlier as to why I feel like they waited until he got sentenced and all that good stuff, because when they sentenced him to the 30 years, which is why I know that they want to be able to, like, somebody going to get him more and more years, because at this point right now, at this moment, he may not have to do them 30 years because they made sure that he is going to be able to do these do his sentences concurrent. Concurrent mean he doing all of them at once instead of consecutive. Instead of the, okay, I'm gonna do this bid, then that bid, and that bid. He gonna be able to do all of them at one time. So it's not a guarantee that he gonna get the 30 years. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. Like, it's not a guarantee. And they waited until he was charged and sentenced so that they could try to get him the maximum penalty for these cases going further. So his Chicago trial, it started on Monday, August the 15th. You know what I'm saying? And this one is for child porn, sex exploitation, you know, for the children. This ain't got no, this is only, all of this stuff is for 100% children. And he's also on trial for trying to defraud the United States by tampering with evidence, and not evidence, but tampering with the victims and trying to pay them off and all that good stuff. So obstruction of justice is what he was doing. So these are the things that he's on trial for. And then he on trial with two other people. One of them is Darrell McDavid. Darrell McDavid used to be his manager. And then you have, what's the other dude name? Milton June Brown. That was his assistant. But McDavid is being charged with conspiracy, with Kells to bribe witnesses and dispose of evidence back in the 2008 trial, which is the one that he was acquitted on. Okay. And for the record, the only reason why he was acquitted in that trial is because no one would testify. The girl in the tape wouldn't testify. The parents wouldn't testify, or any of those things. So it wasn't like he was acquitted just because. And then another thing is that case had started originally in 2002. Them tapes came out in 2002 on VHS. In 2008 is when he finally went to trial for that. So how much evidence do y'all really think they was keeping up with for 6 years? It took them 6 years to even take him to trial for the 2002 thing. So the bribery and the witnesses and all that stuff, look how long they had to be able to do that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And so, and the June Milton Brown, that used to be his assistant or whatever. Now he is only being charged with obstruction of justice. You got Judge Harry Linen-Weber, who is presiding over this case. And it's supposed to be like a 4-week trial, no more, no less, 4 weeks, and that's it. And they also have a confidential jury. Confidential mean that the only people that is going to know the jury for sure is the lawyers and the defendants, which would be R. Kelly, Brown, and McDavid. These the only ones, and along with the lawyers. Everybody else would know them as number, and that's it. And that is because nobody got time for y'all to be trying to be harassing R. Kelly, all y'all R. Kelly fans, calling and harassing them folk, trying to get them to change their mind and tell them how they need to be seeing the trial, and you ain't even there, okay? Because it's not open to media or none of that stuff right there. So yeah, we don't need none of that. We don't need nothing for them to be saying why come and what for the trial need to be dismissed or whatever. So I really do look like I look like an auntie for real, y'all. I really just saw that. Probably because one, I ain't got no earrings on. I got on an auntie little rag over my head and all that stuff. But y'all don't get to talk junk. I talk about myself, but I don't need y'all to talk about me. Okay, I want to see that in none of the comments that I look like somebody auntie, because I'm already saying it. Thank you. Where we at? Okay, now we got, shut up, Kia. We got 5 victims. We got 5 victims that were children when all of this initially took place. They are all grown now, these 5 girls. They are very much grown, maybe gotta be in their 30s. Probably the end of their 30s to be that, like the upper 30s. So that's that. Okay, we got 4 X-rated tapes, but they're only going to see 3. I'm going to only assume that the 4th tape could not be found because, like we all know, he was acquitted of that case, and after 7 years they get to destroy some things. So they're not going to be able to see this particular tape. So I'm guessing that this is the tape they're not going to be able to really just see. So I'm only assume that it, but if y'all could ask the public for one of them tapes, because baby, they was selling them tapes on every corner. And somebody at the crib got that tape. Y'all really, before this trial, y'all could just ask somebody for that. I guarantee you, somebody got that still on VHS, and it was not transferred to no DVD, because if they actually had to see it, it would have to be on somebody DVD, and you're gonna know they gonna. The defense team gonna swear y'all doctored that tape, that CD, because it ain't on the VHS. But they really could have asked the public for one. I guarantee you, somebody out of the millions of billions of people who got that tape back in 2002, somebody still got that tape. Guaranteed. Okay, so then, okay, we got the 4 tapes. Then the best part about this case is Sparkle niece, Rashonda Landfair, she will be testifying. That's the girl that's in the P video. We just gonna call her the video girl. The girl from the video. Like, it's something on Netflix, the girl from the photo. This the girl from the video. That's what we gonna do. The girl from the video. The PP girl. That because I'm not gonna keep saying it. That just don't sound good. But her, this is my only explanation of that. She gonna be testifying, which is Sparkle's niece. Her mom is also going to be testifying, as well as one of her friend girls that she had also would go and have this bedroom stuff with as well. She'll be testifying as well. So it would be one of her ex-friends, because she ain't a friend anymore. And so that's a good thing, because they'll be testifying against him. Okay, so let's get into trial day. So on day 1, it wasn't really nothing but jury selection, right? So they had this jury selection going on. The judge is questioning and excusing people, from the case by their answers. So he's asking questions, trying to rig people out, because this has been so worldwide. They knew that a lot of people would have saw the documentary and all those things, so they want to try to weed people out. But so for the first day, they was doing that, excusing the people from the case, from their answers, trying to get the right kind of jury. Then we got where R. Kelly IQ of 79 will not be in this case, because we do not want none of y'all to feel all sad, because y'all gonna feel like this multi-millionaire of an artist with an IQ of 79, which means he dumber than a 1-month-old. Okay, this is what a 79 would be. I don't want y'all, they don't want y'all to feel sorry and be like, well, he really can't think, because baby, a mastermind was behind all of this. Okay, so he wasn't dumb enough to not get a crew of people to select these girls for him, or get these girls to come and hit. So I don't want to hear. We glad that's out. No IQ situation. So that's pretty much how day 1 went, and R. Kelly was in court as well for the jury selection. Now we can go to day 2. We got jury selection continuing. Kels end up LOLing, really, for real. He ended up laughing out loud at some of the juror selectors responses that was going on. And then also on day 2, you had one of the other co-defendants, McDavid. He put in a motion to dismiss the indictment Okay, so he wanted them to dismiss the indictment because of time and the evidence. Because look how many, this is 20 some years later, and now y'all want to bring this stuff up. But he thought that, I guess, saying that we don't have no evidence and it's been destroyed due to the fact of how the time frame and all this good stuff. And that's because, like I said, after you've been tried for a case, 7 years after that, you get to throw things out. It's dispose of a lot of things. So he was really trying to use that to his advantage. And so, like, I like this judge and how he talking to them, because he 80 some years old, but I like how he is playing them. Because y'all done went to school, got educated, did all this stuff, and you thought you was gonna play on this man intelligence. Because I like his responses and a lot of times that he says to these folks. So what he replied to McDavid's lawyer was, he said, this is what the judge said: you waited too long to file that motion. Meaning, why you didn't file that motion after you got indicted, dummy? Why would you wait till you walk in court to be like, yeah, y'all need to dismiss that indictment because of the evidence? But you already here. You done already did some type of ownership. You either denied, or you either denied it or you implied it. It was one of the two. You're here. You're in court already. Y'all doing jury selection, and now you want to dismiss that y'all don't have evidence. So the judge like, no, it looked like you the one waited too long. But needless to say, he did not really respond to that, and I'ma assume he's going to respond to that later in the case, depending on how far this or what's said or not said in this case. But I don't think that he'll say, well, yeah, let's cancel the indictment though. Because I believe they got some hardcore evidence. So the judge, Judge Lennon Webber, he's still questioning the jurors. And then he still, like I'm saying, I like to do, he cutting them with a little bit of shade. So it was time for the next 6 jurors to come up. How about he like, ain't now one of these promising? Like he was looking at the sheet for the next 6 that was coming. And guess what? All 6 of them was recused. Bye. Nope. He looking like nope. He really down to earth. I like him. He was up. So I believe he gonna get a fair trial and all that good stuff. And so then you got the whole court though. They ended up laughing out loud as well as some of these jurors' answers. I mean, you can't do nothing but laugh. So if the judge asks you a question, if the judge asking you a question or whatever, and you just decide to say the outlandish thing, he asks you about one thing, he might have asked you, what's your street address? Now, I ain't gonna be fair to R. Kelly. I seen all of it. Now, my friend said I can get out of this if I said I seen all 6 videos of the documentary. I seen that. Like that, like, really? Your friend told you that I could get out of jury duty just by saying I saw all 6 of the things. That is crazy. Like, I'm just saying. So you got everybody really laughing out loud. And so the ambulance ends up getting called as well on day 2. So the judge was kind of in the middle of questioning one of the ladies. And then I guess she got sick or whatever, so he ended up calling for an EMT. And of course, she got recused that day, and he just picked another juror because he ain't got time. And so by the end of day 2, we have a jury that is selected. We have juror 1, she's a white woman. We got juror 2, black woman. Juror 3, a white man. Juror 4 is a black man. Juror 5 is a black woman. Then you got juror 6, that's a white woman. Juror 7, a white man. Juror 8, white woman. Juror 9, white man. Juror 10 is a white woman. Now, for your backup jurors, you have no. Then for your last 2 jurors, you got a black man. For juror 11 and juror 12 is a black man and a black woman. So you end up with the jury that's going to be actually sitting in there in the courtroom with the judge is going to be 6 black, 6 white. Now, the alternate jury is a juror 1 is a white woman. Juror 2 is a white man. Juror 3 is a white woman. Juror 4 is a black woman. Juror 5 is a black woman. That mug fire. Man, YouTube need to get up on these Bigo gents. Man, my screen just look, I had stopped me. I caught it out my peripheral. My whole screen just went lit. Man, listen. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was beautiful too. That was what's up. I got some things in me. Juror 5, black woman. Juror 6, white woman. Okay. So for your alternate jury, you got 2 blacks and 4 whites. And of course, Kels was also in court today for the second day of jury selection. Now we're going to get on over here into the thick of things. Now we're getting down to the greasy grease. On day 3, you got R. Kelly lawyer. I guess she needed a photo moment because she woke up and decided she wanted to take a picture to put on Instagram talking about we ready with one of her colleagues or assistants or whatever it was. They on there with their little business suits on. You did. And all that good stuff. Early in the morning on Instagram talking about they ready. And y'all, you need to be getting your mind prepared to go fight this case for your client. But instead, you want to be on Instagram posting pics talking about you ready. Now, you had the prosecutor that's going to be first with their opening statement. You're going to be followed by Kel's attorney. They ended up doing a jury change, right? So the jury change, like I said, the ones that sit in the court, it was 6 black, 6 white. They ended up doing a jury change because one of the black ladies, they had called in sick, and she was saying she can't walk or sit. She can't walk or sit. Okay. This is what the woman called in and said. She wanted 0 parts of this. Okay. I'm telling you, if you done been selected to do jury duty and you didn't want to do jury duty, and the very day that it's time for you to start being a juror, you call in and you like, well, I can't sit or stand. That's pretty much what you're saying. If you can't sit or walk, you can't sit or stand for a long period of time. You just can't do nothing. Okay. So they ended up replacing her with a white woman. So now we have 7 white people on the jury and 5 black people on the jury. Then on top of that, Court still was late because we had 2 of the jurors that were stuck on the train. So after they finally get there, now we getting opening statements. We got the opening statements. They begin with the prosecutor first, and they pretty much came out busting the head. Like, if you forget everything else that I may have said during this statement, but for real, you're not gonna forget the first few words that come out of that judge's mouth. So she started out and the prosecutor just was like, okay, Kel's done had sex with numerous of children. Period. Like, you're not gonna forget that. Everything I might say after that, and it might become mumbo jumbo, but at the end of the day, you're going to remember that they said that. Now, so they instantly come out busting heads with no problem at all. And then she like, yeah, and these 2 co-defendants up here, yeah, they knew about it. They sure did knew about it. Sure were right there in the midst. So then now we got Kel's lawyer signed for opening statements. I don't mean no harm, and I don't like to talk bad about nobody, but I'm wondering if their IQs kind of match a little tight, just a little tight, especially when it comes with the wordplay of this lawyer, because she can't be bright. I promise she cannot be bright. I don't care what nobody say. You are hurting your client from the gate. You're hurting your client. Okay? Just remember, I'm telling y'all. Okay, because so when it comes to wordplay, Miss Lady, she dropped the ball. No joke. So this the first thing she do. She telling the jury, you have to be brave. Why I need to be brave for? We ain't doing nothing but listening to what y'all got to say about this food, and I'm gonna tell you how I feel about that food. What do I need to be brave for? My client, what she say? My client is entitled to a non-biased jury, and I know that is a tall order to fill, but you said you can do it. Who the hell is you talking to, lady? Like, this is the same jury that you want to help your client, and you're gonna talk to them like that. That's what you're gonna do to the jury that's helping your client. You gonna literally tell them, first of all, be brave. Secondly, my client deserves a biased jury. Thirdly, I know it's a tall cup to fill, but to let me top it all off, you said you could feel it. You said you could do this. Like, you want me to help him out though, right? But this how you, I don't think she thought that through. Like, she just kept being dumb. So she said the prosecutor believed that their evidence is going to show that he is a serial child sex abuser. And it is true. Okay. Did y'all hear what I just said? I said, she said that prosecutors believe their evidence is going to show that he is a sexual child sex abuser. And it is true that R. Kelly ain't perfect. Do you know how dumb that is? Pretty much, you threw your client up under the bus. There's no way you didn't know by putting "this is true" behind that statement But before, he not perfect. You couldn't have thought that. There's no way. Me personally, I would have made that statement. He is not perfect. This is true. There's no way I'm going to say the prosecutor is going saying they got evidence to show you that my client is a child sexual abuser. This is true. He's not perfect. What? Why? But for why though, ma'am? Why would you throw your client under the bus, ma'am? This is what we call dumb. Dumb. With 3 B's. Dumb. So if I was on the juror, I would already know that he's guilty because his lawyer just said it. You said that the prosecutor was going to show evidence that your client was a child sex abuser. And then behind that, you said, and this is true. So in my mind, if I was on the jury, he guilty. There's nothing else behind it. Your lawyer should have figured out another way to reword that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's just to be the beginning of the shenanigans Miss Lady had going on. Okay. That was a little of her opening statements. Now we got Derrel McDavid attorney. And Derrel McDavid's attorney just come out, look, we not trying to waste the jury time. And then here is where they use the dead people, baby. When I tell you, they use the hell out these dead folks. Okay, so they threw Edward Garrison. Is that how you say his name? Edward Garrison. You know, that was Kel's previous lawyer, and he ended up passing back in 2020, right? So they done threw Buddy all up under the bus. And you know, they pretty much, let me tell you how they did. I'm telling y'all, they have the McDavid lawyer use dead people. Okay, so this is what he said. He said, because he was Kel's manager, this is what McDavid, because McDavid, remember, he used to be his previous manager. So McDavid is saying that he did everything that attorney Edward told him to do. So he feel like he didn't break no law because the attorney told him to do that. So McDavid attorney ended up the one that is right now his attorney. He ended up being under the same exact building at the same exact law firm as the deceased attorney Edward. Like, you ended up not saying y'all were there at the same time, but you did work with him before he passed. Like, no, back in 2002, you probably was still in middle school. So no, I'm not saying it like that, or graduating or something like that. So this lawyer is pretty young. So, but what I'm saying is you're throwing him under the bus because y'all were under the same firm. Y'all worked together. Y'all have spoken with each other. Y'all knew all of these things. So you thought by now to get your client off, you're going to throw a ex-car lead under the bus. Oh, this is all his fault. He was doing what the attorney told him to do. Okay, so you telling the world now that the attorney is dead, that he told them to obstruct justice. He told them to pay witnesses, bribe witnesses, and all that stuff. That's what you saying right now in your opening statement, sir. And then he also let it be known that his client will also be taking a stand to defend himself. Now they're going to throw another dead person under the bus. Barry Hankerson. This is Aaliyah's uncle, who was once before Kel's manager. They're going to also throw him up under this bus, okay? So they're saying that Barry ended up calling Kel's assistant back February 4th, 2002, right? To make a threat and letting them know that a tape is coming out and it will end up maybe ruining Kel's. You know, remember these dates. February the 4th, 2002. The same day, February 4th, 2002, Chicago Sun-Times called and said that they had the tape. Okay? They have the tape of Kel's fucking a minor. Okay? Now, on February the 8th, 4 days later, 2002, it was also the same day that he was supposed to perform at the Olympics. Let's be clear about that. So February the 8th, 2002, 4 days later, he's supposed to be performing at the Olympics. The story breaks. R. Kelly got a video fucking a minor. Sometimes. Everybody know. And maybe that following week, baby, we had that tape. We had that tape in Gary, baby. We had that tape all up and through Gary. Every corner had at least 3. I can tell you that right now. Every neighborhood, each corner had at least 3. That's a fact. That's how. Because didn't nobody want to know how to believe it. Didn't nobody understand what was going on. They was like, it's not no way. Y'all have got to be kidding me. I'm telling you now. You can't make this shit up. Now, we still on day 3. Now we got Kel's attorney who now wants to put in a motion for a mistrial. We ain't even done with opening statements. McDavid went, you went, and the prosecution went. Brown ain't even went yet. Now you ready for a mistrial because now you're saying that McDavid's attorney was pointing fingers against Kel's legal team. This is what he said. So the judge said, motion denied. Okay? Motion denied, ma'am. We ain't doing it. Now, we have Milton June Brown, attorney, is now giving his opening statement. And remember, Brown was once R. Kelly's assistant. He just come out with it like, well, he have a woman for attorney as well. So the case against Brown will depend entirely on hindsight. Do y'all know what that means? On hindsight, when he say that them putting Brown in that indictment, everything that is against him is in hindsight. Hindsight, yeah, I did those things, but I did not know he was fucking them kids. I ain't know that. I just didn't know that. That's in hindsight. So I did it, but I wouldn't have did none of that if I would have knew that's what he was doing. So all this went on in your hindsight. And how old you is, and you ain't got children yet, and you ain't never heard of what everybody know what hindsight is. We all have. But then we all go check too, because we don't trust shit. And you mean to tell me you don't trust shit? You an assistant and you black. You ain't trusted. You mean to tell me R. Kelly tell you to go put this tape somewhere? You ain't never thought to get, like, wait a minute, he keep telling me to put tapes in here. Wait a minute, let me go. You ain't never thought to look at one. Never. Man, okay, hindsight. You deserve to be in jail, hindsight. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why he hollered. He ain't know that it had nothing to do with kids. And we all know that's a lie. And then this fool said that sex tape that was going around, he said he thought it was doctored. So he watched the tape. You know your dog. You know this girl. You done seen her walking around in his crib. But you feel like they doctored the tape. So they doctored it for him to take out his dick and piss. What part of the tape is doctored that you felt like they doctored it? Took somebody else's face off and put R. Kelly's right there when you clearly know that backdrop, you see it every time you walk in that room? You telling me all this stuff going on, you ain't never knew nothing. So I'm just like, sure, whatever you say, you deserve to be in jail either way. So that was the end of opening statement for tonight. Back to it again. Please like this video, y'all. Share the video. Leave a little comment. Please don't be rude and disrespectful. Like if you don't like it, you can thumbs down. That's fine. But don't be rude and disrespectful. Please don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. Because I'm going to be real nice nasty. Don't do that. Okay? So, this is the end of the opening statements. We are talking about week 1, day 3 of the Chicago R. Kelly federal trial. And it has been very interesting to say the least thus far. But now we can kind of get into the witnesses. Okay? So for some of these witnesses, I might tell you a little something, but then for the other witnesses, I probably won't say nothing. Okay? Because if y'all want the mess and the drama, y'all can go to another channel for that. I just ain't finna keep on messing up my kinds. I'm just not. I can't expect nobody else to feel like that. So we have witness 1 for the prosecution. He's a retired officer. His name is Dr. Darrell Turner. He's a psychologist expert and witness who has worked with child sex abuse victims as well as the offenders. Okay? So y'all know pretty much what he's on there for. Now we have a second witness who is testifying today. And this is going to be Senior Managing Director for the Recording Academy, known as the Grammys, Ann Meckelberg. Ann Meckelberg. You cannot make this stuff up. Now we have the third witness for prosecution, as well as the last witness for the day. Okay, this is going to be our the last witness that will be touching this stand on the third day. And he is a retired Chicago police detective. His name is Daniel Everett. Everett was assigned Remember, I told y'all to remember them dates, right? Okay. Everett was assigned to the Kells case back in 2000. Okay. Y'all remember this stuff did not come out until 2002. But back in 2000 is when this detective got this case. He got this case on a tip about a known singer who's having sex with minors, and it was actually against her parents. Somebody called DCFS on Sparkle's niece parents, actually. And at that moment, that's how this detective ever got involved with this particular case back in 2000. Okay. Remember, it was a tip. So he ended up talking with Sparkle's niece and her mom, I think at a shoe store or something like that. They ended up talking or whatever. And they ended up denying every single thing, like nothing. No, that's not me. That's not that. Mind you, back in 2002, he still had not seen the tape yet. This is 2000 when he's talking to these people, okay? In 2002 is when the tape came out. In 2000 is when he got this case. So in 2000, when he got this case, they denied everything. And so now in 2002, when he get the tape, he got the tape from Jim at the Chicago Sun-Times. And he knew that was Sparkle's niece. And he realized that the family had been lying the entire time, because we got to remember, he ended up meeting them at a store to talk. So he remembered the face by the time he saw the tape, and he like, wait a minute, they lied to me. That is you, girl. And then he was also saying about how he said Rashonda told him that was that's her godfather, and he would never do any of that type of stuff to her. And so after that ended up happening, he ended up having to go into the house, and he also was taking photos of the house and stuff like that. And he was kind of noting like, this the room that the tape was produced in. This is the room. Like, like he not dumb by a long shot. So, he just pretty much he put 2 and 2 together and made 4. That's all. He ended up putting 2 and 2 together, and he made 4. And that's the end of what? Day 3? That's day 3. So now we have day 4. And of course, Kells is still in court. And then before court started, I don't know if y'all ever pay attention to the sketches that they put out when R. Kelly is in court. Like, have y'all seen any of the sketches or the memes that go around that R. Kelly and stuff? Like, some of them got the bald spots, all that good stuff. So the judge just asked all the sketchers to please obliviate the jurors and the witnesses' faces and their hair. Like, don't do like obliviate that. You know what I'm saying? Take that out. Don't show them their hair and face styles, all that stuff. So we still have the third witness on the stand. And this is how we are starting out in our day 4. This is the third witness. He was the retired Chicago detective Daniel Everett, who ended up taking this case back in 2000, didn't see the tape until 2002, and was in court back in 2008. Okay, so that was who was on the stand, still from yesterday. So now we have the fourth witness for the prosecution. And this is also the second witness of today, because your first witness would have been still the same person that was number 3 on yesterday. Okay. And this second person is actually the man who purchased Kel's home back in 2001 after he was out of there. And the investigator police team, they ended up going back to this man's house, to take pics of it and everything like that after R. Kelly was gone away from the premises for some time, because I think R. Kelly moved out of that house by 2000. Okay, and the man is pretty much like, man, R. Kelly can't never come back in here. I already explained that to him, all that good stuff, because some of the smoke detectors that are inside of the bedrooms were actually cameras. Then in the master bedroom, you could not just open the door and walk out. Kill your nails done.
No, I polished them myself.
Yeah, but I'm saying you got nails. They're actually done. Like there's nails on there. That's a nail.
Yeah. No, I'm growing my nails out.
Oh, I'm proud of you, by the way. I don't know why I just paid.
Okay, now we supposed to go live. Shut up and talk.
Anyway, that's why I don't like black people. So in the master bedroom, you couldn't walk out the door. So what they ended up doing is, it was kind of like a panic button. You had to push a button in order for the door to open. Okay, so this man, he like, yeah, I removed that because that's a hazard. The actual hazard that it is for sure a fire hazard or a flood hazard. If water starts to fill in that room, if a fire starts in that room and you have shut the door behind you, there's no way of getting out, because you never knew that there was a panic button that you would have to push in order for this door to open. And in the video, that's the room that's in the video. For those of y'all who saw it, that is the actual video. What's in that actual video is the room that had the panic button, where you've been holding people hostage and not letting them leave. Because that's called being held hostage. I don't care. If I can't get up and open the darn door, go out of window, man, that's being held hostage. That means you keep me here against my will. I don't care what nobody's like. That's kidnapping. But now we have the fifth witness who is about to take the stand for the prosecution, and it is also the last witness for the day. And we have none other than LaShonda Landfire. So this is LaShonda Landfire. Rashonda Landfire was the girl in the tape. The 15-year-old girl that was in the tape getting peed on. This is her. This is Sparkle's niece. And she is now taking a stand. Her mom will be taking a stand. And they also have immunity. Her dad also was going to take the stand and have immunity, but he has since passed. Okay. And Miss Landfair is one. She is looking at still pictures of the video that she was in and is explaining the moment, the time, all these things she's explaining. She's 37 years old now, and she was doing absolutely great all during the beginning. And mind you, on this day, which is day 4, she was on the stand for 4 hours. Okay? For 4 hours, she had been on the stand and she had been doing phenomenal. But then the problem starts when they ask her about that tape. Okay. She did very well. Like even when she was talking about how Sparkle had pretty much pimped her out the gate, because she the one, Sparkle told this little girl to go sit on R. Kelly's lap, rub his head, and ask him to be your godfather. You told her exactly what to do and how to do. So pretty much she had explained everything very well up until the point of the pissing and how she was humiliating and stuff. And like you can hear it in her voice. Actually, you can see that she was crying. You know, like she was literally crying and sniffling and all that good stuff. Like she finally, like, to relive that, like it like, who want to relive some shit like that as a kid? Like I never, like, I thought all that shit was behind me. I gotta see this shit again. Oh no. So yeah, she kind of broke a little. But she pretty much she explained photos, video clips, and the context, and then she talked about how she grew up. And she really went into deep detail about her upbringing, meeting Kales for the first time, Sparkle pimping her out. She also tell you the first sexual contact between she and Kales. She also tells you when she lost her virginity. Um, this was kind of an issue for the defense attorneys when they're talking about the sexual contact as opposed to losing your virginity. Sexual contact, she said, started when she was 14 years old. But she lost her virginity when she was 15 years old. Sexual contact does not mean that somebody penetrated your vagina. That is not what sexual contact means. Sexual contact could have been, that's when she first sucked the Peter. That's when she first sucked the titty. We don't know, but it was a sexual contact. He could have played with a little with his finger in a little JJ or whatever. But it does not mean you penetrate. Now, y'all know when you lose your virginity, that means something has penetrated you and you have lost it. It's over with. Okay? That's the difference in the two. But the lawyers was trying to trip her up about, like, she don't know the difference in the two, or like she dumb or something. Everybody IQ ain't 79, kill. What else had happened? She also talked about how she ended up inviting friends to be with her and Kels. She also just talked about everything that went on between her and Kels between 13 and 24. I think 24 is when she finally moved out and got her own spot, and like he paid all the bills and all that good stuff like that. I think that was that. And then she also talks about why her and her mom was lying for so long about the videotaping and the P tape that. So yeah, and then she also said that she they have like 4 videos of her that he had been started recording her, all that good stuff. And so yeah, it just day 4 They really went in on that day 4. On day 4, honey, they want to tell it all. So we got day 4 down. Now on day 5, I did not I did not really I felt like day 5 was going to be like a cross examination. So I knew that what that day was. So I can tell y'all right now, day 5 was nothing but all of the co-defendants and the defendant cross-examining her. And I'm quite sure she's the only one that was on the stand on day 5. If I find out there to be anything different, I will gladly let you guys know for the next week. I will open up with week 5 if they with day 5, week 1, if they just so happen to see what's the nitty-gritty. But I don't think nothing happened other than they cross-examined her. I'm not really getting into the details of none of what her testimony is, simply because it's her story and she needs to be the one to tell it. And it's been 20 something years since then. I can say this. She have been in contact with him as of late of 2019, 2018, 2019. I think last year was probably when she stopped talking to him. Maybe. So like all this stuff, like, and I don't think that the court cares about her mental health or her well-being. So that's why I really don't want to drag into what all she is saying, because I know and I get it. A lot of y'all do not understand, if somebody is abusing or hurting you, why would you still keep coming around? But here's the thing. The abuse and the hurting, it started when she was young. So because she was young, she looking at him as an adult figure, which means I don't want to let him down and I don't want to say no. But so it kind of become a thing, and you will defend them to the end. You will also get your parents to back down, calm down, like, no, don't do that, because if you do that, then this gonna happen. Da, da, da. Like you can make this work. But the reason why she is still coming around is because it is a part of her mental. She was young. Like, she been knowing R. Kelly since she was 12 years old. So, and then none of the sexual, like, and before any sexual things, like, he literally used to talk on the phone and have phone sex with her. And then it went to, now we are finally doing sexual acts. And then now we're having sexual everything. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so like a part and then she was staying in the house with him for all of this time. So like from 14 to 24, that's 10 years. She lived in the house with Kels. So yeah, that's why you see Jocelyn now talking about she pregnant by R. Kelly. I don't know who believed that, but when did he get to visit? And why is that not plastered everywhere if she been visiting him and being in their business? I don't believe it. But if then what we gonna go with this. She also got a book out now, so you might want to check that out. See what it say. I doubt if it say anything worth a dang, but check it out. It could be entertaining. But yeah, this is week 1 of the R. Kelly Chicago trial. I just wanted to get this out there for you guys with my auntie looking self right now. I ought to be shaming myself looking like somebody auntie. I ain't gonna look like this next week. I'm gonna make that my business. This is uncute all the way together. But y'all have a blessed day, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in to Sipping in the Sip with your girl Sabrina. Y'all sip on that, and I need all y'all to make it make sense, and I'll get up with y'all later.